Hey gang, AV here, and welcome to my review of the Injustice Gods Among Us Batman versus the Joker action figure 2-pack. Here it is, still in the box. As you can see, it's a window box, so you can have a clear shot of Batman and the Joker inside. Looks like Joker comes with a bazooka, but I'm not really seeing anything else in the form of accessories. There's the top of the box. Here's the side obligatory product shots. There's the back with a whole bunch of the other figures that were available. And I do have my eye on a couple of these. I know I also have the Cyborg and Harley Quinn, which I'll be reviewing right after this one. But I do have my eye on a couple other figures here. As you know, I'm a big 1/18th scale fan, and I'm always looking to add more figures to my collection. Here's another product shot right there, with the sculpting credits to Robert Leonards. Here's the bottom of the box with all the legal stuff, and that's about it for the packaging. Let's get it opened up and see how good the figures are. This is my first time ever with figures from this particular line, and I got these on eBay. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be taped sealed or not. Yeah, it looks like there was tape on either side, but the tape was removed. So I'm not sure if this has been opened before. I'm not exactly thrilled that they weren't sealed in the package, but I got them for very cheap, so as long as they ain't broke, I'm not going to be too upset. Now, this right here, the insert in the back of the box, I keep these. Believe it or not, when I set up my my pictures and whatnot for my thumbnails on my videos, I end up using a lot of these in the background. So if I were you, and if you're interested in toy photography, I would hold on to these if I were you. So, because they do come in handy. Even if you don't think you're ever going to use it, you'll be surprised. Just the fact that this is dark and has some oranges and stuff, just putting that in the background and having it out of focus may actually help give you some much needed color in the backdrop of one of your photos. So even if you don't zoom in too close on the display itself, or even like sticking this through a window of like a building that you're taking a shot of the inside, I suggest you hold on to them. I'm a big fan of those. All right, so here are the figures. They look like they are held into place with the twist ties. Let's see if I can clip them. I am also an advocate for keeping these twist ties, believe it or not. I'm only cutting them for the sake of getting the figures out of the package that much quicker. I actually have a ton of these stowed away, and they come in very handy for all sorts of stuff around the house. And if you're not saving them, and you're a little bit crafty, even if you're trying to craft things specifically for your toys, they do come in handy. Yeah, see, that one wasn't even twisted. So guy I bought these off of definitely had these open before. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, look, this wasn't even twisted. So these figures have definitely been out of the package. Still, I got them for $5 each. So again, as long as they ain't broke and the paint's still nice, I'm not going to gripe too much about it. But as a seller, he should have been upfront about the fact that they had been opened. I may have to reflect that in my when I leave feedback. There we go. Batman's out. Joker out. we go. Get all the twist ties out of here. All right, right out of the package. Looks pretty cool. Although, does that swivel? I hope, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, let's get the rest of the twist ties off. Is his arm frozen? Or was it glued? Whew, it's frozen. All right. That was a little scary. Much better head sculpt than the multiverse figure I just finished reviewing. I will say that. All right. All right. We loosened him up pretty decent. Let's stand him up over here. His legs are kind of wonky. Hope I can get him to stand. Man, why the heck is his leg supposed to swivel there, but it's fighting me. Come on, stand up. All right, let's get Batman now. So right off the bat, these figures are pretty decent. They're not the best representations of this scale for these figures, and we'll do a comparison in a minute. But they're not bad either. There we go. Yep, knew that was going to happen. Come on, stand up. And again, gang, this is why I do my videos live without too much editing, so that you can see in real time if I have any trouble with anything. If something's right out of the package should work properly, or whether it doesn't. You see it here first. So, anyhow, I finally got them up, and I finally got them out of the packaging and standing up and everything. Let's have a look at the accessories first. So here's the bazooka, which, as you can see, actually has like a face molded or painted onto it. Right here. It's not too bad. As far as fitting in his hand, it'll fit, but it's not like he's holding it. Can I get him to hold it? His hand, I mean, it just kind of rests there. His hand's not really grasping it, although it's staying there pretty decent, but he's not really holding it that securely, as you can see. But he's holding it. I gotta give him credit. It's just not as secure a fit as I would like, but at least he is able to hold it, so that's pretty good. All right. He does not like to stand up, though. All right. So that's the accessory out of the way. I'm very discombobulated. I apologize for that. Got thrown for a loop by the fact that the thing had been opened previously. I was not expecting that. But anyway, let's have a look at the figures themselves. A decent sculpt. I kind of like the head sculpt on him. It's a very colorful suit, which is something you'd expect. He does have an ab crunch, it looks like. All right, while I'm holding him, let's go over his articulation. So his head is on a ball joint. He can look down. He can look up slightly. He can do a full 360. He can tilt his head from side to side. Very good. His arms can do a full 360. They can go up about that far. They have a bicep swivel, which will do a full 360. He has a single hinge at the elbow, which will get him about 60 degrees. His hands rotate, no hinge. He's got an ab crunch at his rib cage. Allows some motion there. And he also has an ab crunch at his waist. I can see the hinge for it, but it is pretty stiff on mine. I haven't been able to crack that joint yet, and I may have to heat him up in order to get it to work. It doesn't look like he has any swivel at the waist, however. His hips, his legs can go out about this far. He can kick his leg up in a can about that, like that. He has a lower thigh swivel right above the knee, which will do a full 360. He has a single joint at the knee. Oh, wait, no. He's got double jointed knees, but they're pretty wonky. So he's got a bend there at the swivel point and another bend there. That's odd. Full 360 below that joint on his calf. He's got ankle articulation, so he can move his ankles forward to back, and no swivel there. So, yeah, his legs are funky. Not sure I like that. But, it is what it is. All right. And his suit's coming off. I'm going to have to glue that back into place. It's no good. All right. And let's have a look at Batman now. Sculpt on Batman. It's pretty decent. He's got a rubbery cape. Which is permanently attached. Let's go over his articulation now. His head is on a ball joint. Can do a full 360. Can look down and up, not really. Cannot tilt his head side to side at all. His arms will do a full 360. They go up about that far. He's got the bicep swivel, which will do a full 360. His elbows can straighten and bend about 60 degrees. He has nothing at the wrist, but he does have a forearm swivel right underneath the elbow joint. He has torso articulation right at the rib cage there. He also has an ab crunch. He has nothing at the waist. His legs will go out about this far. He can kick his leg up in a can about that far. He has the same swivel joint the Joker has right above the knee. He also bends at that point, and his double knee joint right below his knee pad is very stiff, but it's there, and he can bend his knee about that far. And he's got a swivel, yep, right there above his shin guard. Ankle joint pivots back and forth. No rocking motion at all. So his articulation's the same as the Joker, but he's a little bit more solid, possibly because he is a little bit thicker limbed. Let's do size comparisons now. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so let's compare them first to the Multiverse line. As you can see, they're a little bit on the smaller side. We'll compare Batman first. just because. So yeah, they are a little on the smaller side. And the Injustice 2 figure, the Injustice 1 figure is a little bow-legged too. So he doesn't really stand fully tall. Let's compare him with the classic G.I. Joe. So as you can see, he is about 3 3/4 inches. Here he is next to the Hiya Toys Injustice Batman. As you can see, Hiya Toys is much taller than he is. Let's do the Joker now. Here's the Joker next to his DC Multiverse counterpart. As you can see, he's noticeably shorter. Here is the 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe. So you can see he's right on par with the 3 3/4 inch line of figures. Here he is next to the Hiya Toys Injustice 2 figure, and he's noticeably smaller than him. So, okay, I'll be honest, I am a little disappointed with this Injustice line. The mold is nice. The painted details are nice. The actual figure construction, I'm not too thrilled with. I don't like how they incorporated some of the joints, and I'm not a big fan of the fact that they're noticeably shorter than most modern figures these days. I kind of like them at the 4-inch level as opposed to the 3 3/4. All in all, they're not bad figures. They're just a little underwhelming as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I got a really good deal on this and the other set I'm about to review. I got them for $5 a piece plus shipping, so that's really good. I'm happy. I mean, I got my money's worth out of them, and I do have 2 additional representations of both of these characters, which is nice. But I wouldn't recommend that you break the bank trying to track these down. If you can get them for cheap, and you just like adding to your shelf of Joker or Batman figures in this scale, more or less, I think they'd be good. I think that Batman may be good as a vehicle driver. But stick him in a Batmobile or whatever. But anyway, this has been AV. If you like this video, check out my channel. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.